Hey, Golden Boy here, back at it with another one, and thank you guys so much for checking out the videos that I've been putting out there beforehand. Really appreciate it. Before we get into today's show, I do want to let folks know that I'm actually going to be going away for the next week, but don't worry, because the videos are going to keep on coming, as I'm actually going to try and record them while I'm away. And where will I be, you ask? Well, I will be hosting the Overwatch League Week 3 for Stage 4, the final stage of the Overwatch League before the playoffs, and then the finals right here in New York City at Barclays Center. Very excited for that, but I will be there, so you can check me out all week long, starting from Wednesday to Saturday. It will be twitch.tv/Overwatch League if you're interested in checking out all the goodness there. I'm really pumped to be back with my friends, but for now, let's jump right into the show. Sea of Thieves just got a new update. Now, if you haven't checked out Sea of Thieves yet, and here's full disclosure, neither have I. I actually have not had an opportunity to buy or play Sea of Thieves. I've watched a few streams, watched my buddy Cream play it, Burke Black play it, but here's the reason why I didn't pick it up. Because I felt like the game, kind of like the way Destiny felt when it first released, was just a little incomplete. So I figured I'll just wait until more content comes out, and then I'll dive into the game. But it seems like that's happening. Seems like we're starting to get more content with Sea of Thieves' first content release. The new update, which lets you follow and meet with the one and only Merrick, who's a pretty important character in the Sea of Thieves story. It looks pretty cool. It looks fun. It looks exciting. And we're getting a bunch of new stuff with this update. I mean, honestly, you're getting new cosmetics. You're getting new adventures, new things for your ship. The list just goes on and on. A couple of the items that you're going to be getting in this update: tattoos. Many pirates wanted them, and now they are here. Check out the vanity chest for 16 sailor tattoo sets and visit the clothing shop on Outpost for stocks of 4 purchasable tattoo sets. So that sounds pretty cool. Scars as well, with enemies that fall into your pirate might. Scars earned through the campaign and events such as the Hungering Deep will allow you to tell a story of your pirate's history and adventures. These are not purchasable. They must be earned. Now that actually sounds pretty cool, and this is the kind of stuff that I wanted to see in Sea of Thieves. There's also this new thing here called the Speaking Trumpet. Parlay. Let other ships know if you are a friend or foe with the new Speaking Trumpet, making yourself heard from longer distances. The first Speaking Trumpet is attainable through the Hungering Deep, but of course this is an item that can be purchasable moving forward with different variants, and they will be arriving at the shops in the near future. And you know, you also have new flags, cool little items and additions that are going to be coming to the game. They're putting item color variants in there as well, so that this way, if you know you want to get a set that has matching items, you can actually make that happen. They're also adding a couple of performance things as well. CPU performance has been improved when loading objects. So overall, these seem to be some pretty positive changes, and now I feel like this is a great opportunity to just jump right in and play Sea of Thieves. So I think I'm just gonna go and buy it and now check it out, because all this sounds pretty cool, and have friends who've been messaging me asking me to play, so I figured why not. I mean, yeah, I've been just absolutely engulfed with Fortnite, but it's okay to kind of just like go and do something different for the time being. And I really hope that updates like this continue to come out more frequently, because if there's one thing that Fortnite has proven to us, really, is that if you're updating your game with just small incremental updates often, you retain the players. And I think that's just an overall positive thing. Granted, I understand it may not be the same for all the other devs, it may not be the same for all the other studios, but it's very clear that in order to keep your player base engaged with your product, you have to be updating frequently. So I hope that we start to see more updates coming for Sea of Thieves in the near future, and more frequent updates coming to Sea of Thieves, because I think that's something that's going to keep a lot of the fans engaged moving forward. Now, our next fun little topic is just something I kind of want to talk about, only because I find it to be very interesting, and that is competitive Fortnite. Now, everyone knows that I'm an esports guy. I literally just said I'm going to go host the Overwatch League at the start of the show. I'm a competitive guy. I'm an esports guy, and I want to see Fortnite esports be a thing, because I think it's very clear, based off of the UMG Keemstar Friday Fortnite events, that there is an appetite for fans to watch competitive Fortnite, whether it was the Ninja event, or even the YouTuber showdown that they had in France. Just people want to see competitive Fortnite. So this leads me to a funny tweet from Method Gaming's very own Jetpacks. Jetpacks, a competitive player for Method, tweeted this thing, and I thought it was pretty funny only because the comments on it were actually pretty entertaining. So the tweet here says competitive Fortnite, by the way, and then it's an image of basically a crazy build battle going with various teams in the comp Fortnite community. Barrage, you see Barrage's name in there. Epsilon's team is in there. I believe there was also well, Method is also in there as well, and you can just see how ridiculous this build battle looks. And then here's another image as well, and you can kind of get like the vibe for like what's going on here. I mean, this is a very complex battle of players that are simply trying to get the better of one another. And if I can tell this correctly, there are what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 teams that are still in the final circle. And I think that's also another thing that's really telling, is that, you know, these competitive teams, they get on to scrim and they're in, you know, the final circles, and they're just trying to outplay one another. So there's just been a lot of comments in regards to this, and I thought it was pretty funny, so I figured I'd share it with you guys. So some people have ideas, like Resu says maybe the zone should destroy buildings, which honestly Jetpacks agrees, and I kind of agree with as well, that this is definitely not a bad idea. Cease TV says this meta is pretty lame, and Jetpack says I personally don't mind, but there could definitely be some changes to address. And when we look at like what the Overwatch League has done, I think that could kind of give us a good idea as to how competitive Fortnite can really shape out to be entertaining for the viewing audience. One thing that the Overwatch League did was really give us the ability to see the team skins, right? The team skins kind of give us the idea that one team is going up against another team, or rather than just a crazy combination of heroes beating the crap out of each other. But the team skins have really helped give Overwatch that vibe, that vibe that you're watching a sport, you're watching a competitive game, and it's something that, granted, Overwatch is still a very difficult game to watch from time to time. It helps out a little bit more. Back when the league first announced, everyone was like, well, how's this gonna look? And then we started to see Blizzard bring out the skins. Here's the skins for the New York Excelsior, the Houston Outlaws, the Boston Uprising, Philadelphia Fusion, so on and so forth. And you could really see the detail that goes into these skins. Epic could do something very similarly with Fortnite. It will be very difficult to do that, but I think being able to identify who's putting down what building materials where, and also being able to identify the players' skins, right, as a part of their jerseys, so to speak, I think that could actually help the game be much more a viewer-friendly experience than that image, which, you know, that image is pretty tough to see. So there's certainly going to be a lot of spectating improvements, and that's really it, right? Like, it comes down to how do you want your game to be shown, and I think that this is something that Epic really haven't even thought about yet, and I don't blame them, because they just announced that they're investing $100 million into prizing for esports events. I think it's kind of like a crawl before you walk, walk before you run kind of thing, and they need to do that in order for them to have a successful program and a successful ecosystem. But they do need to think about how can they make their game easy for fans to watch, and I think this right here, this is a good way to do it, right? You just have these various team skins that could help connect the audience with the team, and this way when they watch the game, they could be like, oh yeah, no, I see Method right there, or I see FaZe, or I see Luminosity. I just think it'll help out a lot. So I want to know what you guys think. Sound off in the comment section down below. How do you feel about this, you know, all the craziness regarding Fortnite competitive, the $100 million investment that Epic is putting into it, but also, what do you think about the team skins idea? Is that something that you would like to see in Fortnite? Let me know in the comment section down below. And finally, our last topic of the day is about PUBG versus Fortnite. And I think that this is something that all fans are like, oh man, which game is better? You know, they're always arguing about it. It's always something that people are discussing, but this time it's actually a little bit different. So as it turns out, PUBG Corporation is filing a lawsuit against Epic Games. So this is actually like more of an actual PUBG versus Fortnite situation. That's a little uncomfortable. PC Gamer is reporting that there is a lawsuit that's out there. The Korea Times actually were the first ones to break the story, and the Korean-based company PUBG Corp has filed an injunction against Epic Games Korea in January, alleging copyright infringement, which is a big one. The Seoul Central District Court will decide whether Fortnite copied PUBG, though no further details concerning the claims have been revealed. Epic Games released Fortnite's free-to-play Battle Royale mode in September last year after the game's vanilla PvE free the world, which is not even true. It's actually Save the World. Come on, PC Gamer. Mode struggled to gain traction. PUBG publisher Bluehole weighed in on the similarities between the modes in September. This is what they're saying. We just want to emphasize that this is only a problem because Epic Games is the company that makes the engine we use, and we pay a large amount of royalties to them. And we have this business relationship when we had trust that we would be getting continued support, and we were looking forward to working more closely with them to get technical support, maybe develop new features. Also, another thing that you know may not be known was that back way back when they announced Fortnite Battle Royale, they did talk about how they were fans of games like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. It was in the official like release, but what's interesting is that at the time, this was not something that people were like particularly angry about, because they, you know, it just seemed like it was going to be a niche thing, right? Like, I saw Fortnite and thought it was going to be successful as hell, but a lot of other people just looked at it and were like, you know, Battlegrounds is still king. I'm still going to play PUBG. And then we started to see more and more people make that switch over to Fortnite. Streamers started to play a big role in that. And now here we are, where Fortnite is one of the biggest games in the world, and PUBG, I mean, I don't really know how well PUBG is doing, but from what I can understand and from what I'm seeing, it's not really doing that hot as it once was, right? I think the magic is definitely wore off after so many performance issue updates had happened with the game. So yes, and they talk about how their name was officially used to promote the game, which was, you know, without their knowledge. Now, full disclosure, and this might shock you a little bit, I'm not a lawyer, so I honestly do not know how any of this will actually play out. I will say, though, from a community perspective, this certainly doesn't bode well for PUBG Corp. As far as I'm aware, the recent update that just came out, while it was pretty much welcomed by everyone, they're releasing a new map, Sanhok or Savage, which I played it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was actually pretty fun. Apparently, there are a lot of performance issues with the latest PUBG update. And Fortnite just continues to get better and better. And granted, there are performance issues there as well. It's such a big game, just like PUBG, that there's bound to be some issues. Community perception-wise, I just don't know how this bodes well for PUBG, because a lot of people already make it seem like PUBG is dying, which I don't necessarily believe that. And whenever like there's like an update to Fortnite, or whenever PUBG puts out a tweet, you always see Fortnite conversations in those tweets, but you never see that when Fortnite puts out an update. So it's very clear that the influence of Fortnite, it's definitely bled over to the PUBG community. And, you know, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate to see something like this happen. And the other thing too, it's like, I feel like it's comparing apples to oranges, honestly. Fortnite and PUBG are so different from one another that I do not see the connection. This is what they're resting on. This is their argument that the games are similar. Haven't heard an official response from Epic regarding this yet, so I don't know what's gonna happen there. But this is a very interesting topic, honestly, because it's always about PUBG versus Fortnite, and now it's literally PUBG versus Fortnite, because we have a lawsuit filed by PUBG Corp to Epic Games Korea. This is some crazy stuff, and I'm really curious to see how this all plays out in the future. We'll be sure to keep tabs and updates on it as more news continues to roll out. And of course, I want to know what you guys think as well. Sound off in the comment section down below. Let me know, how do you feel about this? Do you think that PUBG and Fortnite can ever get along again? Do you think PUBG is justified in this lawsuit? What do you think Epic Games' response is going to be? Let me know. I'm really curious. This is a really big story, potentially, of course, and I don't know where this is going to go. Again, my personal opinion, I just don't think that this is something that's going to bode well for PUBG Corp, public perception wise, and I'm curious to know what you guys think. So sound off in the comment section down below one more again. And that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. If you happen to enjoy this video, give it a like, subscribe, make sure you hit the bell so you get notified when new updates go live. And that's it for me. Time to fly to LA to host the Overwatch League. I'll see you guys next time. I'm Golden Boy. Peace.